Yeah.
So let me ask you, if somebody put you in a chokehold, would you pass out or would you tap out?
Oh, pass out? No. You can't tap, bro. You can't tap. I don't
You don't
understand
tap?
people. I don't understand people that tap the chokes, man. Because you gotta fight till the last breath.
But that's just somebody got you
understand,
real good. Like, you know they got it locked in. Like,
And
you
plus,
can't get out of it.
I'm not submitting to no man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that.
I understand. Like, I understand if it's like, someone's got your shoulder lock or arm bar. Like, I could understand tapping to that. But if I'm fighting for a title and I'm 4 rounds up and you catch me in a submission in the 5th, screw that. Break my shoulder. I'm winning this damn belt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a good mentality.
It depends on the situation. If it's first round, it's early, it's like, and someone's got me an armbar and they're about to snap my stuff in half, okay, I might give them a tap. But chokehold, never, ever, ever, because that don't hurt me. I've been choked out before. It doesn't hurt. You wake up, you're fine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Haitian Kings Podcast. Today, we got a young fighter in here. This dude is a bull. He's already have so many belts. You don't want to fuck with him. But we got him on the show. Without further ado, Devin, thank you for coming to the show, bro.
Dude, I appreciate you for inviting me, man. It's an honor, dude. Y'all been killing it. I'm glad to be here, man. Yeah.
Hey, man, look, listen, like, whenever there's somebody in the area that's doing their thing, we like to just bring him in here, sit him down in this chair and then, quiz the shit out of them. Ask him all type of questions, see how they started, how they got to where they had, the mindset and the whole 9 yards. So let's just start, like I said, start from the very beginning. What got you into that lifestyle?
So I started when I was 15 years old. I was getting bullied a lot. I was super small, but I had like little man syndrome. So even though I was a little small, I talked like I was big, Like 6 foot dude would be picking on me. I'd be 4'8" sitting there and I'd just be talking right back at him. I'd be testing him. And so I needed to learn to be put in my place. So I walked into a gym and started with Josh Quahagan at Performance Evolution Training Center. And from then on, I just wanted to learn to defend myself originally. But I just started falling in love with the sport, the art, of martial arts and everything. And I seen my teammates around me fighting and stuff, and I started watching UFC, and I was like, man, this is super cool. And I also just fell in love with just challenging myself too. So I figured, like, what better challenge than to just fight another man with pretty much limited rules. So I from then on decided I wanted to fight. So then I trained for 3 years, and I started my fighting career when I was 18 years old back in 2022.
How was that feeling going in the cage for the first time?
There's nothing like it, man. I tried to hold on to it as best I could because Austin told me, my buddy Austin Swallow at PE with me, he told me to just make the most of it because there's nothing like that first fight, and it goes by quick. But there's nothing like walking out that first time. It's like, and I trained for 3 years before I could get my first fight, and I wanted to, like, as soon as possible. Like, I was just so driven to fight, but they wanted me to mature first. But the first time I stepped in, it was a bunch of jitters, but also just a bunch of happiness, man. But first fight, it didn't go so well. I did win, but that first round, I blew my load, man. I let that adrenaline dump hit me. But second round, I came out and knocked him out quickly. But it was insane, dude. And the after feeling of it, I just tried to take it all in as best I could, enjoy every moment, but it was hard. It all went by so fast.
I gotta ask you this though. Good thing is I've had plenty of fights when I was a kid, but like I said, when I was a kid, but within my adult life, I probably had like 1 or 2 crazy ball fights. It wasn't anything, spectacular or anything like that. But I've never knocked nobody out.
Yeah.
So what's the feeling of knowing that you put them in to sleep? How does that feel like? Did that make you really feel like, man, I'm the man up in this piece kind of thing, or is just like, since it's within a structured environment, where it don't quite feel the same?
Man, it was insane because I had dropped people before in sparring and stuff, but I'd never truly put someone out. And the guy that I put out, it was a solid, clean head kick. Like, he ran right into it, and I loaded up as hard as I could into it. And it was insane. I remember when he fell to the floor, I was like, oh, because the whole camp, I wanted a head kick knockout. That was and I kind of just manifested it into reality. And so it was it was like a dream come true. It was like my first fight, finished him in the second round pretty early, and it was the strike that I wanted. It was insane. But honestly, another thing that I trained during that camp was to not let it get to my head too much. I remember my goal after that fight, whether I got a finish or not, was just to remain humble. That's very important. I mean, after that fight, I got big-headed a little bit because I was a little kid. I was young, ignorant, stupid. But in the moment, I just kind of took a deep breath and just fell to my knees, thanked the Lord, and I just remained calm. But it was definitely insane. It was a moment I would never forget.
But I'm
ever.
sure it was like a different kind of confidence. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like you said, you trained for 3 years and then now you're in there and you got it done and it actually happened the way you wanted it to happen, even though you're trying to stay as humble as you could possibly can.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you walked different.
Oh
Like,
yeah, definitely walk different because it's a test, right?
Yeah.
I went in there and I tested myself and I passed. So it's definitely you definitely walk with a bigger confidence because I went in there against another man, tried myself, and I walked out, in victory. So it's definitely a confidence booster for sure. I definitely walk around, with a tighter head on my shoulders because I know I have the ability to accomplish things and overcome mental battles like that because it's not easy walking in there. It's very easy to freak out. It's very stressful, anxious. You can get real anxious. But yeah, definitely a confidence booster for sure.
I was like, what was the first punch when he punched you for the first time? How you feel about it?
That first punch was hard. I'm not gonna. The guy that I fought, it was both of our debuts. He was 32 years old. I was 18.
Man.
He had some heavy hands. He was scrapping just like I started scrapping, so he started scrapping and hit me with 3 right hooks back to back. He just spammed them, and it was hard. But my first reaction, I smiled. I smiled. I don't know where. I didn't even remember smiling in the fight, but I guess that was just reaction because anytime someone hits me clean and sparring, I just give them a good shot, But it was definitely insane. It felt like bricks. And
was it like some sort of poker face to it? Like, man,
Yes.
that didn't hurt that much, but even though it did.
exactly. Back then, I used to do that a lot. But nowadays, fighters at the higher level, fighters realize if you smile at them, that means it hurt. So I gotta start doing that less. I still have it. I'm trying to break.
But I got another question though. Let's just say clearly you've been doing this for a good bit of while, and then you fighting your family, friends, mom, dad, wife, friends come see you. Does that play a little bit in your head that, man, I better not lose because I don't want my family and friends see me get my ass kicked? Does that play a little bit in your head?
It definitely does add some pressure. So for the most time, I block it out. I do my best to block it out. But if it's hometown, everybody's coming, lots writing on me. I'm getting all types of messages saying, you better do this, put an expectation on me. Of course, I always want to go out and perform. But in the moment when I'm walking out, I'm not worried about nothing else. I just tune out because to me, it's just noise, just all noise. You gotta do your best as a fighter to make it not, because a lot of the time fighters are super prideful and like to make it all about us, which it is. We're in there alone and we're fighting, but sometimes you gotta simplify it to make it as make yourself not the main character, and it releases some pressure off yourself. That's one of the things that you have to go through, the process you have to go through as a fighter is to take some stress off yourself by making it more simple. I'm simply just a man signed a contract to fight another man, and one wins, one loses. And when you can put it in your head like that, it definitely takes the pressure off. But I will say it has affected me before. There was one time I did let it get to me, and I ended up losing because of a lot of the pressure. But it's my one and only MMA loss, but I'm grateful for it.
How did you deal with that loss?
I didn't deal with it too well originally. I tried to stay cool, remain faithful in God and stuff, and just focus on that. But eventually, I had too much of my identity in the fight and stuff. So it was not a solid foundation to where I saw myself as a fighter, and not as a husband, not as the father I'm about to be. I put all my identity into fighting and all my stock into fighting. So it was everything to me when I lost. I had to learn that that's not all I am. I am somebody outside of it. If fighting were to go away today, I could be something tomorrow. And so, yeah, it definitely did hurt in the beginning. I had to deal with it. It was I dealt with lots of depression and stuff like that, but I shook back because I realized who I was and that I'm more than just a fighter. And that's definitely what helped. Yeah.
All right, let me give you a scenario. So let's say, for instance, you're about to fight, right? And then they call your name. So from the minute they call your name to walk to the cage, what did you tell yourself? What's the process for you when you're working out? Do you talk to yourself? Do you say anything? Or you
I definitely talk to myself. Me and my coach, Coach Quaig, love that dude, man. He's like a father figure to me.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah, dude, he is the GOAT. Coach Quagan has instilled something, and not only in me, but the whole Performance Evolution team, just speaking life into things. Even when you don't feel that way, just speaking over it. And I feel it's a really powerful thing. when I'm going to the cage, I'm just constantly repeating like just Bible verses of confidence to myself, because my faith is big in the Lord and Jesus Christ and stuff, and I feel like that's what helps me is I speak life into those things, because His word is life, and that's in His word. His word is life, and that it helps me. So I say things like take joy in the struggle. It's my favorite Bible verse. Romans. I'm gonna just say it to y'all real quick, and that's my biggest confidence is just knowing that I'm, for one, taken care of by a great Father, and two, that I'm more than capable. When I take out a step outside the box, I'm more than capable.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's just say, like, within the whole fight, like whenever you're getting ready for a fight, you got your little 2-a-days, and then you got the nutrition aspect, and then you got the weight cutting, and then walking to the stage, and then fighting, and the whole 9 yards. Which one you would say is the hardest?
The hardest for me is definitely nutrition. I love to eat, man. I kind of developed an eating disorder through all the weight cutting and stuff. I wasn't too big of an eater like before, like fighting and stuff, but once I had to cut weight and really discipline myself away from food, dude, I started going balls to the wall after my fights. I would gain like 40 pounds in a week.
God, damn, what you been eating, man?
Anything and everything, brother. Anything and everything. But that's after the weight cut. So that's like including the rehydration.
Yeah.
But there was one time, it was the worst I've ever binged. I weighed in at 25. Within 6 days, I was 165 pounds.
Damn.
And
Christ.
that is insane. Yeah, that was way too bad. And I still kind of struggle with that, but my nutrition coach, my strength and conditioning and nutrition coach from Ignite Fitness, Drake Pellegrin and Claire Savage, shout out. They've been helping me deal with that and overcome that mental battle. But definitely the discipline of, eating the same thing every day and just eating clean. That's the hardest part for me. The training, I will always put in the work. There's no, like, my teammates don't even have to ask me. They don't even have to check me. They don't. Usually we have to stay on some people's, we have to stay on some people's end about it. But they know I'm training. But they know they got to check with me about my weight, because that's a struggle.
You said something earlier that was kind of deep. You said at first, when you first started fighting, you used to just look at fighting as like, that's who you are. And then now you're done to realize to step back from it and realize there's a different you outside of fighting. But the question I got for you, though, you said you about to be a father and you got a wife and all that kind of stuff, and you got friends and family you hang out with. And I'm sure there's like a switch between the both, the fighter and the human being outside of all that kind of stuff. Like, can you walk me through the difference between the both? Because I know some guys, some UFC fighters that I follow say, like, whenever they're in training, they stay away from the wife, kids, and the whole 9 yards. They pretend that they don't exist so they can step into that killer mentality world. Is it the same thing for you, or is it just different?
I wouldn't even call it a switch, man. I think you just got to go through the motions. Like I said, the people that like take time away from their wife and kids, I think it's horrible, man. I think it's very selfish. I used to do that, though. I used to be that guy. You can ask my wife, man, like, back when she was my girlfriend, before she was my wife, I would like be like, hey, don't talk to me for a week. Fight's coming up, And that's like, but I realized after maturing over time, like, man, like, this is the girl, because I knew I wanted to marry her one day. It's like, this is the girl I'm marrying one day. I'm going to just tell her not to talk to me because I want to focus, because I can't make myself focus because she's around. Like, that's horrible. My wife, my future kids, they'll need me. And that's never going to change. No matter it doesn't matter what I need all the time. They have needs too. So the fighters that do that, more, if it works, cool. I'm not going to do it. But I think it's more important to find the balance for the people around you than just yourself.
So you don't find it as a distraction. I'm not saying you should do it or shouldn't do it, but because me, I'm more different. Of course, I'm not a fighter, but when I'm doing something and I'm focused, it's not like I, don't spend time with my kids or my girlfriend or anything, but it's just like within that moment, and nothing else matters, because I'm trying to give it 150% within that moment. So therefore, if I stop to think about them, I'm gonna slow down. Like, how many times I got something going on, I'm like, I gotta go do it, and my girl be like, man, stay.
Yeah,
don't
for
go
sure.
do it.
And I agree with that. Like, in the moment, I'm not worried about nobody. Like when I'm walking out to the cage, like, yeah, like it's game on. Like, I'm not thinking about nothing else. Let me get past this first. And even fight day, like I'll tell, like, my wife has learned at this point that, like, like weigh-in day and weight cut day and fight day, like, just to chill out from, like, because you know how wives are. They like to ask you for a lot of things, make you do a lot of things. But she knows she's gained that balance to, like, chill out a little bit, like, on the and she steps up and she plays the role of like, like maybe I have to, sit back a little bit and start doing things more myself and whatever. But she chills out the last 3 days, and we have a good balance with it. But the switch that you hit definitely hits about like fight day. And I won't say that there's a lot of fighters that like try to avoid emotions like but I feel like in my opinion I got to deal with them. There's a lot of like fight like me. Like you see Dustin Poirier, like when he's walking out to his fight, like he kisses his wife beforehand. Me personally, I can't do that. Me personally, like yeah, and it's not because like I'm worried about being too soft or anything like that. It's just like I just want to lock in. You know what I mean? And I notice a lot of fighters do that, but it's not too big of a deal. There's definitely a balance you got to find though.
Because the reason I asked you that, like my favorite fighter ever, like in Israel Adesanya, I know he kind of lose some stock because he lost a few fights recently.
Wait, what's his name?
Israel Adesanya, easy.
Oh, Israel Adesanya. Okay.
And but I remember like this fight against Pereira, the second one, and he said that himself. He said like he had to tap into some dark energy. He said like he had to literally stay away from everybody. He said he used to just he rented like a spot or something to he just training, go back to that spot, don't talk to nobody else. So he said he had to literally become like a villain within his mind just to focus on that fight, to tap into that energy, to be that killer. And that's kind of why I kind of asked you that, because when you're in there, believe it or not, maybe you can speak more to that than I can, but your life's on the line. You got a guy that's right across from you who literally want to, detach your head from your body.
Exactly, yeah.
And within that sense, I don't think you can be thinking about, what your wife, your kids, and family and friends would think, whether they care or whether they like you or not.
Yeah.
It's basically life or death. One punch or one kick might land in the wrong position, and then that's a wrap.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then Easy at the time, too, already fought Pereira already. So.
Yeah, he fought Pereira like 4 times.
And he has that chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, because you already know who you. Some people you always think like you got confidence, but get people that when you fight them, you know who you fighting. So So if you lost, you can't lose that one, and you were stuck in mad shit. The first time you were stuck in mad shit, and he lost it. You know.
Yeah.
So the second one you couldn't. Shit, I do the same shit too. I would talk to nobody.
Yeah.
But
I do agree with the fact though, like there is like when it's like training camp, like you definitely gotta like filter what you put in your life though. Like, as far as like hanging out outside of like training and home life, like I pretty much make it strictly my home life and my training life. Like all the hanging out outside and like, spend it like I spend time with my family and whatever, but like as far as like friends and stuff, unless it's teammates, because I go to war with my brothers all the time. That's people I can be comfortable in that space around. Yeah. But definitely, like, gotta not entertain as many things during training camp. Like video games, that's a no-no. Like all that stuff. Just talking to like normal people and whatever. And that's cool too. But I don't go out of my way for it. I've never like really gone out as it is, so that's not something I have to like filter from. But definitely like less stuff you got to entertain when you're in training mode, fight mode. Like Izzy, like you said, if I was him, I'd lock in too. Like he already lost to him a couple times in kickboxing and MMA, and that's maybe what he had to do, and it worked. So more power to him. Yeah.
And I think he said he will never fight him again because he said that guy is too good. Like he got to bring 150% of himself to fight that dude.
Exactly.
And Pereira making that, and then he said like he don't want to go back to that space again. But
I feel that. Yeah.
Just to switch gear real quick. You said you about to turn 21 in a week, right?
Next month.
Next month. So therefore, you're still young. You're still young within your fighting career.
Yeah.
But like, who, as I guess you may say an MMA or UFC or whatever it might be, that's been there, done that you kind of wish that you can have the same career as them.
Have the same career, dude. I mean, whoever's the GOAT man at 35. Wouldn't that be? Who's the GOAT at 35? TJ Dillashaw.
No. Isn't that the weight class O'Malley fight in?
Yeah. TJ. Honestly, I love TJ Dillashaw's career, man. TJ Dillashaw, he was a killer, and he beat Renan Barão twice, and Renan Barão reigned for 10 years or whatever it was. And I just love TJ's style too. I definitely want to do it a different way though. But as far as like have the same career and pedigree as somebody, whoever's the best, man. But in my opinion, best 35er, TJ Dillashaw. So
you never had let's just say, I know you kind of been doing this for a good little minute. Let's just say you about to fight somebody, and I'm sure you had to go do homework on them, watch a few videos, see their style, their tendencies, and so on and so forth. Have you ever seen somebody and you in your mind you're like, man, that was good, I don't know if I want that. I don't know if I want that smoke. Have you ever had to go through that process?
Absolutely, man, and I've gone through the process a lot lately. So as an amateur, everybody knows amateur is pretty much a practice run before you make your pro career and everything's set in stone. Amateur, you have to take your hard fights there. There will be hard fights in the future as pro, but you want to take less risks in the beginning of your career so you can make it to the big show, then start fighting your killers again. An amateur, I believe that you should be fighting the best because that'll prepare you for your pro career the best. So in my opinion, I've been fighting the best dude since my second fight. My first fight wasn't the best dude. My third fight wasn't the best dude. But 4 out of the 7 opponents I've fought all have belts right now. They all have belts or more than one. Some of them 3, and they all have positive records. I don't believe in just fighting. We call them cans, like little pushovers that won't get you anywhere. You got to challenge yourself. But I've definitely had the moment where it's like, oh shit, like. Yeah. I remember like in my 6th fight where I was fighting Ian Hibbs. Ian Hibbs was 5-0. He was top 10 in the country out of 3,035ers, I believe it was, or 2,500 or something like that. And they were announcing him in the corner, and I was in the corner just shadow boxing, whatever, just getting myself warm. And they were like, the former peak 155 champion, and I was like, oh my god, I'm fighting this guy. Like I just kind of even though I knew that about him during training camp, he like jogged my memory a little bit while I was in the cage about to fight. I'm like, oh my, this guy was the 155 champ. It's 2 weight class. I'm really fighting this guy, and plus just fighting undefeated fighters. It's like, damn, like how do I know I'm not going to be just another number in the record? You know what I mean? That's scary. If they've never lost before, what makes me any different? And you can't find out until you fight them. So. But thank God I was different. I gave him his first one. I took that O for myself. But oh yeah, like Seth fought Seth Dardar. He was 6-0 when I fought him. I fought Ian Hibbs. He was 5-0. The guy I just fought was 2-0.
That builds your confidence at this point, huh?
Oh yeah. I'm more than confident in my abilities, man. Especially like I'm getting it down in every area too. I know I'm one of the best strikers in my weight class at the amateur level. I won't be there for a while in the pros, but that's what the pros are for. I've tested myself in every way I can at the amateur level. I know I'm more than capable to strike with anybody. And grappling needs some work, but it's been getting better. I just got a sub on my record, and that's what I wanted. But dude, the past couple fights, anything I've wanted to do, I went in there and done it. And so I'm very confident in my abilities.
So what would you say that is your strength and your weakness?
So in my opinion, I believe I can go anywhere in the fight. I'm very comfortable. Weakness would have to be the grappling. It's only because I've only started it about 3 years ago. Striking I did 5 years ago. So my striking is going to be ahead of my grappling. But as far as in the worlds of levels, my striking is years ahead of my grappling skill. My grappling's getting there and it's getting good. But still, at the pro level, there's going to be black belts, and I cannot grapple with those guys. I just got to fight them. You got to respect people at that point. But yeah, I believe in my ability to wrestle anybody. I believe my wrestling skill's good. But as far as what's better and what's worse, it would be my grappling.
But within the world of MMA, they always say whoever can grapple, they can dictate the fight. Because if they do not want to stand there and strike with you, they can just bring you into their world. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? So therefore, have that ever worried you? Like whenever let's just say you're gonna fight somebody that's like an excellent grappler,
yeah,
and then you just know, okay, clearly I'm a better striker. Clearly you got confidence within your striking skills,
yeah,
and then you do know that that other person can dictate where that fight goes. Has that ever worried you, or you just feel like you won't let it get to that point?
It's worried me in my first couple fights, but I started really putting effort into the grappling around my second fight. That was also in 2022. That was in June of 2022. So since then, I've been working the grappling. But I've never felt uncomfortable on the ground. I've never felt like I'm in danger. I've always been confident in my abilities. But there's definitely been some points where because most of the people I fought are purple belts. I just got my blue belt a couple months ago, and blue belt's pretty much a year, 2. Even though I've been grappling for 5 years, my coaches took a while to promote me. I switched gyms. They gave me my blue finally. But I've never felt in danger. I've always been confident in my abilities. There's never been an oh shit moment this guy might have me. Every time, because at the same time I gotta respect their grappling. They gotta respect they got to respect what I got, you know? So they, not only do I have to have the confidence to get up if I get taken down or, you know, get out of a sub if I get caught in one, but they have to get the confidence to change levels and, you know, risk the fact that I might catch them on the way in. But I've always been able to, and plus I don't quit, man. Like if someone takes me down, I don't just sit there. Like I know if I got to get up, I got to get up. I will get up, you know? I worked that so much. My takedown defense is really good. I don't believe anybody can hold me down, and no one has yet. So
let me ask, if somebody put you in a chokehold, would you pass out or would you tap out?
Oh, pass out? No, you can't tap, bro. You can't tap. I don't understand people. I don't understand people that tap the chokes, man, because you gotta fight till the last breath.
But that's just somebody got you real good, like you know they got it locked in, like you
plus,
can't get out of it.
I'm not submitting to no man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and
I understand. Like, I understand if it's like, you know, someone's got your shoulder lock or, you know, arm bar. Like, I could understand tapping to that. But if I'm fighting for a title and I'm 4 rounds up and you catch me in a submission in the 5th, screw that. Break my shoulder. I'm winning this damn belt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a good mentality.
It depends on the situation. If it's first round, it's early. It's like, and someone's got me an armbar and they're about to snap my stuff in half. Okay, I might give them a tap. But chokehold, never, ever, because that don't hurt me. I've been choked out before. It doesn't hurt. You wake up, you're fine.
But let me take it way back to on what you just said. Like clearly, your line of work is extremely dangerous. Like whenever, like you said, way back you got into it because you were getting bullied in school or whatever. But let's just say whenever you realize, okay, I'm in love with this, I want to do it professionally. Like your parents, family, and friends, did they trying to talk you out of it? Especially your mom, you know, or they were like, hell yeah, you should go for it.
My parents were not sure at first, but they saw. So I was such a. When I was a kid, I played outside a lot when I was a little kid, but as I got into my teenage years, bro, I was stuck on that computer. I would not get out, wouldn't do nothing, had no discipline, no commit. I couldn't commit to anything. I was lazy. I was on the track to being a very lazy human being. Like I would have done no benefit to society. But when they saw me like getting out and getting more discipline and becoming like a better human and like more driven and like that, they were all for it. And they knew like I was getting good at it because my coaches had nothing but good things to say about me. They were actively putting like, you know, time into me. Like outside of training hours, they would actively put time into me to help me get better because they knew I had potential. And once they saw the opinions of these experienced, like Josh Quahagan talking me up and being like so for real about it. Once I told them that my first fight was coming up, they loved it. My dad supports me completely. My mom supports me completely. My wife, everybody, they love it because it made me a better. Everybody remembers the person I was before training, and that wasn't a good dude. But once I started, it's been nothing but benefits, man. I'm grateful.
But next question. I was saving this one for last, but I want to ask you that right now, though.
Yeah.
Top 5 MMA or UFC fighter or whatever it is ever.
Number 1's got to be Max Holloway, man. That's my
Max,
dude,
man. That's
bro.
my dude. I love Max
bro. And I'm not a Max like bandwagon. I've been loved, dude, since I started back in 2019. Max has always been my favorite fighter. The best is blessed, baby. Top 5, I've always thought of top 3, but not top 5. But second, I don't like his attitude, but man, second, this would be it. John Jones, just because he's the best of all time.
He's the GOAT.
He's never lost.
He never lost, exactly.
I don't like, the things he's done during his career, like hitting pregnant women in a car and running and like stuff like that. But everybody goes through their stuff. He's doing well right now. He's became a Christian and all that stuff, and he's really devoting his life to God. I believe so. So John Jones second, just because he's the greatest of all time, and third. And I don't like his, like his mouth, but McGregor.
Man, you gotta love McGregor. Man, I love his mom. I love his mom, and I love his skills. I love his drive. I love everything about McGregor.
Yeah,
even though he's been losing.
It's dude. Not only his skill and his IQ, but just the way he did it, man. The way he went into that division and just killed everybody.
You southpaw or traditional?
I do both. Both.
Oh man, damn, that man a killer for real. But okay.
But mainly southpaw. Like I like my southpaw because I like my right jab and my right check hook, and I like my left. My left kick has more power than my right. So both my head kick knockouts are with my left side.
Nice.
So
that's 3 so far?
I'm so comfortable.
That's 3 or 4.
That's 3 so far. Conor, because dude, he killed that division, and he said everything he did. Like he
That's
predicted
what I'm
everything
saying.
he did. No one else done that. No one else done that. And plus, he's brought MMA stock. It wouldn't
Way
be
up.
MMA stock wouldn't be the same without McGregor.
For
you know
sure.
what I mean?
Yeah, for
You
sure.
got to pay him his respect.
For sure.
He's not the same fighter he was, but I believe he will come back and fight one more time. But I believe after once he's probably done. But honestly, at that level, when you have all that money and like everything you need, why would you fight? Why?
But that's what I love about him so much is because some people do it for the money.
Absolutely.
He got the shit of the money. He don't
loves
have to
it.
do it.
He just loves the sport.
love to do it. And he talk his shit. And every time he talk about it, that level of confidence he got.
Yeah.
I love that. You know what I mean? Like it's contagious. I mean,
everything he says, he's sure of it. You know, and I respect that a lot.
Till you prove him wrong. But he got in the cage with, even though it was a lot of money, but with
not the cage, the ring with
That's Poirier?
Mayweather.
The Mayweather.
He's the only guy that has went from MMA to boxing like in their prime like years.
Yeah, that's what
he's the only one that's made that like step.
I mean, I know he made a lot of money, but whenever he went in there, I knew he was gonna lose.
Yeah.
I just knew it. I'm like, okay.
But dude, people forget like McGregor was beating the brakes off Floyd before he got put away. Like McGregor was making it look easy. Y'all remember that?
But I wouldn't say, within my opinion, I don't think he was making it look easy. You could tell like Floyd is more experienced than no matter because Floyd was
just letting
him do all that kind of stuff because Floyd knew like he did not have the gas tank to go out 11 rounds.
True. And then, everybody knew McGregor's gas tank was bad.
Yeah, like you just knew that Floyd's like, okay, I'm gonna let that man do his thing because Floyd is known for not being hit.
Yeah,
that's what he do best. So
McGregor did hurt him a couple times though. You remember that?
No, I wouldn't say
he didn't drop him, but
he caught him with some great punches, but I wouldn't say you hurt him.
Okay, I gotcha.
So
I could agree.
He caught him with some flush, punches. You're like, ooh, that gotta hurt, but it was never really hurt.
Yeah.
But hey, McGregor's my dude.
That's the cost of having so much confidence in your hands, man. The power, because you try to, and McGregor always been the type of fighter to finish. So it's like, and he knows he's not a distance fighter as well. The only one he's went the distance with was. What, Nate Diaz?
Yeah, Nate Diaz, yeah.
Yeah, Nate Diaz. Everyone else, it's either finished him or he's finished them. But that's the problem with having so much confidence in your hands that you try to put them out, but then if you don't, you're in for a long night. You know?
Pretty much. So that's 3.
That's your 4.
3.
You're not gonna add Dustin on there.
I never thought about 4, man. I'm gonna say Dustin.
I was about to say you're not gonna add Dustin in there.
Yeah. Even though Dustin's beat McGregor, I believe that the first time he knocked him out, like, cool. That was he did that. He did his thing. The second time he beat him though, because of the broken leg, I don't count that personally.
Yeah, me neither. I don't count that. I feel like if he didn't break his leg.
Just because look at his resume, man.
Why nobody ever I see all the fighters coming? Why nobody choose Khabib? Why?
I feel like it's that grappling stuff. That's boring
title
stuff.
defenses, man. He in 2 title defenses against the not so. I mean. Was Poirier title defense?
Was it? I want to say so, yeah. I'm not quite sure.
Was Poirier, Gaethje, and...
Gaethje was for sure a title defense, but as far as for Poirier, I'm not quite sure. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I don't remember who he fought the belt for, but...
What did he fight the belt for? Was it McGregor? He got the belt for McGregor.
Did he get the belt from McGregor, or did he defend against McGregor?
I think he got it from McGregor. I think. I'm not 100% sure.
I think it was vacated because McGregor was the champ before Khabib. Yeah, McGregor was the champ because he beat Eddie.
Yeah.
Because he beat Eddie. And then McGregor had vacated it, I think, or they stripped him or something. And they fought for the vacant title, I'm pretty sure.
Something like that.
Something like that. Maybe we got the lore wrong, but...
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, Dustin, because, dude, look at his resume. He's fought everybody. He's fought any... Like, your answer to why no one puts Khabib on there, Khabib, dude, he ducked a lot of people. Like, he never fought Charles Oliveira for a reason. He never fought Max for a reason. Max, I believe, would have,
but did that's the thing, though. That's the thing with Khabib. I love Khabib. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the thing is with him, is you already know what's coming. But don't mean you can stop it. He's not gonna stand there and strike with you or do none of that stuff. Like once he brings you down, like he brings you, like I think there's a thing he said. He's trying to draw on you, and then while you're drawing, you rediscover yourself. Yeah. Because once he's on top of you, he ain't going nowhere.
But man, look at Max's takedown defense accuracy. People don't take him down. He's never really been, he hasn't been taken down in years.
About Max?
Max Holloway.
I know, but Max Holloway, he's a striker. Most of his fights that I've seen, they're usually like striking fights.
He's got like one sub, I think.
You saw that knockout against Gaethje? Oh, man, that was nice.
That's like one of the things. Like, that's one of those things that like it only happens in a dream.
Yeah, well, like what, 1 second or 2 seconds before the end of the fight?
It was literally 24:59. 24:59, right before the 25-minute mark. He was like, that's literally the best outcome. He dominated the whole fight, even though like he was dominating the whole fight. He took the risk of, giving a very powerful Gaethje of losing. Like he gave him his only chance of winning, and dominated him in that field too, trading with him, and then slept him in the dude. That's a knockout. I would like.
That's one of the best knockouts I've seen ever.
Have that.
That's one of the best knockouts I've seen ever. You know who I used to like?
That'll be one of the best in history. Yeah.
You know who I used to like? What's his name? They call him Street Jesus because he said he keep
Street Jesus. Mahore Masvidal.
Masvidal. I used to like Masvidal.
I used to like Masvidal too.
Yes, ever since he knocked out that dude in like what 9 seconds, 8 seconds, whatever it was.
Ben Askren.
Ben Askren, but at the same time, you could tell Masvidal he's not really a skilled dude. Like he just got lucky that time.
Yeah.
But I still love him though. But back then, I used to really be like on the Masvidal bandwagon.
I used to be a big fan of him too because he called his shots and he would do his thing. Like he would knock people out, and that's all he came to do. But as of lately, like with all the talk and like he's been like in his ending days and his UFC career, he was just talking a bunch but not winning, and it just made him look bad,
I gotta ask you this though, cause since you're a fighter, because one of my favorite fighters ever, my favorite champion, because that dude lapped the whole division, Usman.
Yeah,
Usman lapped the whole division twice.
Usman's underrated, man. People forget about him.
Like, but thing is, one thing I noticed about Usman after he got knocked out by that dude from what's his name,
Leon Edwards.
Leonard, that kick.
He's from the UK. Yeah,
that kick was smooth. You can't hate on that kick. That kick was flush.
That's my favorite kick, man.
Man, that kick was. Is that what your kick be like?
The 1-2 high.
Yeah. Oh my God, that kick was.
Both of my head kick knockouts are literally that exact same
thing. Man, I guess now I gotta pay more attention to when you're fighting, but that kick was like smooth. And then ever since after that kick, Usman wasn't the same. Like his next 2-3 fights, you could tell he lacked a bit of.
He's lost some confidence, yeah.
So therefore, do you feel like within your career, like, of course, you've never been knocked out. Do you think, like, let's just say you got the confidence, within your skills, your striking, and all that kind of stuff. Do you believe that, let's just say you get knocked out, like one of those clean knocked out, you think that would affect you mentally or it wouldn't? Or like something you prep your mind for?
I haven't been finished yet, but I would like to think that I would handle it well, but you never know. That's one of the things about fighting. You got to test yourself and you got to pass tests. It's one of the tests I haven't dealt with yet, is getting finished.
But I would think too, because right now, so now let's say you're in the UFC, you everywhere now. You know what I'm saying? A fight like this, let's say the fight, I'm not saying like right now, let's say you got knocked out, yeah, you still lost, but it's not like nationally or internationally. Everybody's watching it. It's on every news outlet. Everybody's talking about it. That's a whole nother level, man. When everybody's like knowing that, it's another level to put your mind to accept it and move on and trying to get better in the next fight.
But yeah, because like I said, man, because Usman, he was the dude. Like, he was the type of guy to where it's kind of like he was fighting everybody and anybody. To where, like, he got to a point to where he ran out of opponent. To where he had to go back and lap around. Yeah. Like, the same guy. He ain't fought this dude in like 3 months.
He was on the path to be the welterweight GOAT.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then ever since after that fight, that kick, that was the end of Usman. Now, I want to still believe that he will come back to that guy, but I haven't seen it yet.
I believe he will, because, listen, he fought Leon again, and he was a little gun-shy because of that knockout. He knew it could come at any time, even the last moments after losing by 4 rounds.
Usually he dominates.
Yeah,
he dominates every fight.
He usually dominates. But that fight with the second or third fight, it was the third fight with Leon, he looked a little gun-shy. But even, like, people say he hasn't been the same since. Dude has mad injury. You know how bad his knees are?
I know his knees are messed up.
His knees are so messed up.
Like he can't run on concrete or something like that. He got to run on grass.
Yeah, something like that. And even his fight with Chimaev, dude, he took that on 10 days' notice.
Yeah, he's that dude. Like, no, Usman
he took that on 10 days' notice against a guy that no one wanted to fight. And it's like Chimaev was primed and ready in camp. Usman came off the couch. He wasn't training. So it's like, you can say he hasn't been the same, but he also hasn't gotten the chance to say otherwise,
Okay, but let's just say right now, as a fighter, right? You about to fight somebody. Because one thing about it, when you get to the top, it's kind of like everybody got your picture in their gym. They training to whoop your ass, in a sense. But let's just say you make it to the top.
Yeah.
Do you think, like, you got all the accolades, the belt, and so on and so forth, you made it to the UFC, God knows what. Do you think for you it'd be hard to stay motivated? Or you're going to feel like, when I done won it all, what's the point of keep going? And that's why I got so much respect for Usman, because even though when he was on top, he still remained that dude, if you see where I'm coming from.
Dude, of course I want to be the best. Like, it'd be awesome if I could be the greatest fighter in the world. Like, be the champion. Like, that would be awesome. That'd be ideal. I mean, but honestly, my goal is that. But my main goal is really just to be able to fight for a living, because this is what I love to do. I don't want to go work a job
But
full
think,
time.
but think about it. Like, once you got that belt, which means your bank account is also looking good.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You'll be able to afford your wife, your kids, whatever they want. Plus, you got enough to where even if you don't fight again, you'll be good. That's gonna be where I feel like, especially for me, the way I'm looking at it, the motivation is gonna shift.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? Why wake up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning to go for a run when I can just catch a plane and go to Vegas?
True.
You get what I'm saying?
But I mean,
I would like to think I would stay disciplined and stay motivated. But even at the top, those mental battles come. But I'm not sure, man. We'll have to see because Dustin Poirier, that's what he's going through right now. I know he's in the talks for his final fight and this being this big old thing. Apparently, it's in the talks to be in New Orleans to get his last fight. Pretty much a fight card built around him and stuff. But that's what Dustin Poirier is going through. He's like, after he lost to Islam, he was saying like, man, I would like to work my way back up to the title, but man, I've done like, he has 50 pro fights against the baddest fighters in the world.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, I've done that 50 times. Why would I fight again? Like, he's like, man,
I
don't know.
want Dustin to get the belt. I wanted to have it once, even if he don't fight again, and just give the belt back. But I want it because if there's anybody within that division that deserves that belt, it's Dustin.
It's Dustin, man. He's been through the ringer. And the thing is, like, I don't even count him out as like never being a champion. He's beat many champions. He's beat Conor. He's beat Eddie Alvarez. He won the BMF belt, right?
No.
Oh no, he lost that one.
Gaethje
so
had
he beat Gaethje, who had the BMF belt. He's beat Max, and he was one of the 45 goats. Honestly, if not the 45.
Even
goat.
if he had the BMF belt, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
He
had
lost
a
to
phenomenal
Gaethje
career.
He lost the BMF belt to Gaethje, and then Gaethje lost it to Holloway.
Exactly. Yeah, it was a phenomenal career. I would be happy if I was Poirier. Like, and he was the interim champion. The interim champion is basically like the champion, but not like
not really.
It's
I don't know. I don't even know why they have that belt. That shit don't even make sense to me. The interim champion.
It's
that
more
don't
just
make
a
sense.
placeholder if the real champion is like out and injured or something like that, or can't fight for whatever reason.
But I don't think I would want to win the belt that way.
Oh yeah.
So let me ask you this. So let's say right now the goal is to get to the UFC, right? So who you watching right now? You say, yeah, I would like to fight this guy.
Yeah.
Who you in the UFC right now? You would like to
Dude,
fight?
Marab, come get it, son. Marab Davalavici, come get it.
Wow, man, why you got beef with the guy? Why you done to you, man? Why you hate him?
I don't hate him.
But I mean, why you would want to like put some hands on him?
He's got that belt. Come get it, son. Like, there's no one specific at 35. The weight classes, the rankings are constantly changing, but 35 is definitely, it's the second hardest weight class in the sport. 55 being number one. Marab, dude. That dude has how many? I think he's 18. I think he has 18 wins or something. Dude has 18 wins, like 3 finishes. Like, come over here, dude.
But yeah,
because that's what, like I told y'all the other day.
Yeah.
Marab's one of those guys. Like, if you fight him, you're not gonna get hurt. He ain't gonna finish you.
Yeah, but
You know
he
what I
rarely
mean?
finishes
But
people.
he dominated the last fight, though. I mean, I was surprised because I thought the guy, what's his name, the guy with the color?
O'Malley.
Oh, Sean O'Malley. I thought Sean O'Malley was going to win that fight.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna win too. I thought he'd catch him.
Which goes back to what I keep saying: grapplers dictate the fight. Those guys, they already
Depends
know.
on the level, though.
But like those guys that's like high level wrestlers or grapplers, however you want to call it, they can dictate the fight. Like if you look at Habib, he dictate the fight.
Yeah.
He's not gonna stand there and strike with you because you know once he takes you down to his world, you have no chance whatsoever freaking ever. So they dictate the fight, and then O'Malley could defend the. It's either like if you're a great striker,
Yeah,
you better be good at defending the takedown.
yeah.
Because if you're not, it's a waste of time. They're just gonna take you down, and then all that striking you got going on ain't gonna be worth the jack. And I'm a big fan of O'Malley too.
Mm-hmm.
Like honestly, like he's quick, and like his fight against Aljamain Sterling, I believe, that's a great fight.
Yeah.
That was a great fight.
I thought if anybody was going to beat him, it was going to be Aljo, because Aljo was on his path to be the 35 GOAT. He had already had 3 defensive, I believe.
But Aljo, I'm gonna tell you my thing with Aljo. Like, I like Aljo, but I've never really been like a big fan of his. Like, I forgot when he fought that Russian dude.
Peter Yan.
Yeah, when he got hit with the knee.
Yeah.
He could have continued that fight.
He could have. He was trying to win a He was trying to win a Grammy.
Yeah.
You know, like with the
Continue that
acting
fight.
skills.
I felt like he could have got up because at that fight, Peter Yan, even though he came back and whooped his ass the next fight, but within that fight, when he did all that kind of stuff, I kind of in a way kind of lost respect for him. I'm like, okay, dude,
I did too.
Yeah, you can continue that fight. Why in the hell? Because Peter Yan was whooping his ass the first fight for sure. And then when he got cut with that knee, like he was acting like, oh, I can't continue, and into it, like you know, he had to win it by disqualification.
And Peter was whooping him the second fight too, but he gassed because he was like putting it on him, and then Aljo ended up coming back and winning.
The second fight, I want to say he did pretty okay. He did okay in the second fight.
Yeah, he did okay. Like he finished the first 2 rounds, Peter was just whooping on him, and then the last 3, Aljo took control. But Aljo's another one of those too, man. Like, but Aljo's huge, man. Aljo's huge. He cuts a lot of weight.
Do you think O'Malley gonna get his belt back?
You
think O'Malley gonna get his belt back?
If the UFC plays their cards right, because I know they want Sean to have it back because he sells. Marab, he's not gonna sell, man.
Okay, now clearly you want Marab because you feel like that dude's not that much of a danger. Let's
He's
just
not
say,
entertaining, man.
Okay, so let's just say for the sake of argument, O'Malley got it back. That's within your world, the striking world. You still feel like you're about that life?
I'm not at that level yet to fight. I'm confident, but I'm not delusional.
Okay.
O'Malley would piece me right now. Absolutely.
Man, he quick and he's a sniper.
Oh yeah, dude. He's long too for the weight
he's
class.
He's like what, 6'1" or what? He's tall as shit.
No, he's not 6'1". He's 5'11". 5'11".
Crazy. I want to say
it's just, dude, people at 35 are so small, so he looks like a tower.
Okay, I thought he was like 6'1". He's skinny as shit.
People at 135 are like normally shorter than me in the UFC. Marab, he's like 5'5".
But the thing is, like, if you going for the belt, I mean, I know Marab might seem like an easy target. That's why you're like, man, I can kick that dude's ass.
Not an easy target, but he ain't gonna hurt me, so I got nothing to be worried about.
O'Malley, you already know you got a high chance of going to sleep because that dude put people to sleep for sure. So let's just say O'Malley got it back. Like you said, you
son, come get it. You might knock me out, but I'm gonna go out on my shield. I'm not in that fight. I'm not shooting a takedown. I want to bang with him. Yeah.
Man,
you look at
banging with O'Malley, I wouldn't advise that. Man, he quick. Man,
Yeah, I wouldn't advise it either.
I've never seen you fight, and I'm not trying to not give you enough credit, but he quick, and he's a sniper too.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Credits due. He's one of the. So, dude, have you watched this fight with Cheeto Vera?
Oh yeah, that knee.
That was.
You saw that knee?
That was the biggest. That was the best MMA master. That was the best striking MMA master class I've ever seen.
Because that knee, when he hit him with that knee, you could hear
Anybody
that
would
stuff.
go out to that.
Like I was like, and the dude showed you like a scan of his a forehead the next day.
Yeah.
I don't even know how they can still alive because he hit him with that knee. That knee was so clean.
Dude, that would have put to sleep anybody.
I don't know how the hell that dude didn't go to sleep.
Yeah.
But that was a clean knee.
Yeah, that I don't know how he didn't go night, bro. Like that knee was insane. But dude, Sean O'Malley, best MMA striker there ever has been, in my opinion.
I wouldn't go that far.
Except for Max Holloway.
I'd give it to Max Holloway. I wouldn't go that far.
Can't forget the GOAT, bro.
Yeah, I'd go to Max Holloway.
But second place, the best striker, like, dude, O'Malley's got that. Man, he's pretty, man.
I mean, O'Malley, Holloway, I'll give him the respect. But right now, Pereira.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, that's way out of your class, like your weight class. But that left hook, I don't know, man. I think, Jan or Urich? Which one of them said, man, that dude is doing voodoo or something? That don't make sense.
Yeah.
Because he barely connects.
Even the kick they give the calf kick.
Yeah.
It hurt.
That calf kick, the way he throws it, like his waist don't even move. Like that's why you can't see it coming.
You can't. There's no load up at all. I try to get my calf kicks from I've studied Pereira for a long time on how he does his calf kicks because it's very specific the way he does them. And I try to pick up because he has the best calf kick in the game. He does it so nonchalantly, and it's just like his eyes stay up here. So you're not even thinking about the lower level, and and you can't even see it coming. Like you said, he just comes right off the hip. There's no loading. There's no telegraph.
And I watch him do like normal civilian. He's barely touching, bro, and people feel it.
People fall.
He barely feel
Man,
it.
if you think that left hook, because I've been watching that dude for a minute, that left hook looked like it don't even have no power behind it.
Yeah, he's not even swinging with all his might. That's the crazy part.
And then once he connect, it's night.
Yeah.
But hey, power to him, man.
I believe it or not, Pereira, he's the second hardest hitting guy in the UFC. So they have like a little punch tester where it's like this block thing that they punch and it measures the pressure at which they punch. So Pereira's in second place. The guys in first place, his name's Joe Pyfer.
Is he a white guy?
He's a white guy, red
I think
beard.
I saw his interview, like a long beard. Yeah, he had an interview he did with Joe Rogan, and he was talking about how he got the highest record.
Yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Joe Pyfer, Joe Pyfer's a dog. He just lost to Jack Hermanson. I think he won a fight after that, but he lost to Jack Hermanson. It was a really good fight. Joe Pyfer is going to be at the top soon. So everybody knows Ngannou, hardest hitter, right?
Yeah.
Pereira and Joe Pyfer actually hit way harder than him, which is crazy. Which is crazy, right?
No, that is crazy because Ngannou, that dude look huge.
Bro.
Yeah, I see that dude and run away.
Yeah. You look like him if he was just smaller. You look like Ngannou.
Nah, but Ngannou, man, he's that dude, though, honestly. But now he's making a shit ton of money in boxing and more power to him,
in the PFL, and boxing, he's making his PFL debut soon. Oh, dude, but back to hold on. I never said my top 5, so I actually want to change it.
One left. You got one left.
So look, I'm going to insert somebody at the top and move the others lower.
Who?
So 1, Max Holloway. 2, Demetrius Johnson.
Demetrius Johnson.
DJ, bro.
The name sounds familiar.
Nuh-uh, bro.
No, the name sounds familiar. I'm trying to put a face to it. Hold on, Demetrius Johnson.
DJ, little tiny dude. The 125 GOAT.
You talking about Mighty Mouse?
Mighty Mouse,
Yeah, you should have
bro.
said Mighty Mouse, man. When you said Demetrius, I'm like, okay, yeah.
Son, if I have to say
is
Mighty Mouse in order for you to know, that's a problem.
No, because everybody know about Mighty Mouse. Because it's like, what, 3
True.
feet tall? But that
Dude.
dude is like, he's killed.
Yeah,
I'm talking
yeah.
about like whatever.
Dude, the greatest martial artist of all
Whatever
time.
it is you want to go to, he's great at it. Like, you want to strike, good. You want to
He's
grapple,
second to John Jones,
good.
in my opinion.
Yeah, you want to wrestle, he's A1 at everything. Like, he got this thing he does to where he go wrestle people that's like 40, 50 pounds heavier than him. And like mollywop.
Destroys them, submits them. Yeah.
Yes.
At the
for fun.
IBJJF tournaments.
Like, he
IBJJF.
just go show up there and he's fighting dude that look like they could be his dad. That's how bigger than they are. Like people that weigh like 40, 50 pounds heavier than him.
Even heavier than that. I think he grappled a guy that was 100 pounds heavier than him, and he subbed him.
That shows you how. But thing he retired recently though. Like,
Yeah,
I
he
felt like he
retired.
had much more in the gas tank.
He was still fighting really well. Like, he never like really exited his prime, in my opinion.
Yeah, I felt like he was still in his prime.
Because he didn't get hit a lot. So he.
But
you
when
know,
he left the UFC, you
they
left the
traded him, bro. It was the worst decision they ever
They
made.
traded him for Ben Askren.
and he
Out
got
of all
knocked out in
freaking
5
people.
seconds.
Out of all freaking people, I hate Ben Askren. He just looked like that kind of guy.
Because Ben Askren, he was killing it in Bellator at the time. He was the champion. He was just mauling everybody. Not really mauling. Like, he was just dominating everybody, and that's why they traded him. But it ended up being one of the worst investments they ever. DJ, in my opinion, on pound for pound GOAT. He's second to John Jones.
DJ for sure.
Second to John Jones.
If you know the sport, and
Nice
you see,
guy, too.
and you see that dude
Yeah.
fight, you just realize he's just great on all levels.
Everywhere.
Like, wherever it is you want to take it, he's greater than you.
Yeah.
So don't even try.
If there's someone that I would dream to train with, it'd be him. It would be him.
But the thing is, I think what is like he's short. I think he fighted like a 125.
Yeah, he
is
fights
a
at 125.
which is a weight scale nobody paid attention to.
Yeah.
So which means even though you could see that he had the skills,
Yeah.
but nobody never really cared for that weight class.
He only walks around at 135, 140 pounds,
yeah.
too. He
And
don't cut a lot of weight.
I think he's like what 5'2", 3". He's
He's
that
like
tall.
5'3", 5'4".
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not that tall.
Short.
Yeah, he's really short. But if you see him, think you can whip him, don't even try it.
Dude. Yeah, he would, dude. He's the greatest in my just because his attitude, the things he's done, like winning a belt and he's the 125 GOAT undeniably, and then going to one doing the same thing, losing the belt, coming back, beating the guy in tremendous
You
fashion.
saw that knee?
Dude,
The way he set it up?
dude, he threw that teat, he dropped it. Came back, cross, and then waited for it.
Yeah, while that dude was backing up, and then he
combine
just
with
hit
the
him with
cage.
that knee. Man, that dude, he's good. He's
Dude,
good for sure.
His IQ is off the charts.
Like I said, that dude is just great on all level of the freaking game. Kind of like the dude that just talented, just like John Jones. Because John Jones, like whenever you speak, there's this guy who was talking about fighting John Jones. He said it was like sparring.
Yeah.
He says not only the dude showed up late, smelled like street liquor. You could tell he was partying the night before. And he says, but back then I was just like, the most healthiest dude alive, drinking all my green juice, A1.
Yeah.
And like I had time to stretch, do my yoga, the whole 9 yards. The dude just showed up, stretch, and was like doing this thing to it like 1 round per person. And he was just whooping this guy next, whooping this guy next, whooping this guy next. And then be like, all right, guys, that was fun.
See you later.
So John Jones is the go, but think why he retired? Because I was looking forward to his fight versus Hospital.
It was Stipe.
No, he was supposed to fight Stipe, but nobody cared for that Stipe fight because Stipe is old.
Yeah, no one cares. So I think Stipe's too old, man.
Yeah, he's old. So people wanted him to fight Hospital.
People wanted to fight Aspinall, but John Jones ain't gonna take that fight.
But
Yeah.
Hospital, he don't seem that scary.
Aspinall?
I'm not saying he's not good, but
Dude, he finishes everybody in the first round. I don't know what about that's not scary.
No,
but
but I don't know. I don't know, maybe because the way he looks. Like when I watch his fight, like I
Yeah.
said, he finishes everybody. Like they don't seem dominant. At least that's my opinion. It seems like he gets.
You are right. He doesn't look. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he
doesn't
just
look the
seems like he
part,
get
but dude,
lucky.
he plays it. That's for sure. Like he hits anybody he hits, they just fall. Like
Him versus Pereira.
him versus Pereira. Ooh.
Everybody's talking about that fight.
Aspinall better grapple. Better grapple. I don't think anybody because
I don't even think he's gonna try to strike with him.
I wouldn't.
He
I
won't.
wouldn't.
I don't
Even as
think-
small as I am, if I were to somehow ended up in a cage with Pereira, I'm shooting for the legs at all costs.
So I don't think. But the thing is, they say Pereira walk around at 235.
Yeah, 225, 235. Yeah.
So and he was fighting at 185. I don't know how the hell he made
He
that
killed
happen.
himself to make that cut, and I honestly think that's why Izzy knocked him out is because of that weight cut. Because you see him taking all these shots from these bigger guys, and he's fine. It's
Yeah.
just less water protecting the brain. That's how, like I was telling y'all, like the weight cut thing. Sometimes you may be able to make it, but it comes with a cost. You might get knocked out easier, you know.
But yeah, I mean, I would want him to put like what, a solid 20 more pounds, like 240, 250.
Yeah.
To fight a Haskell.
I would just say he'd just stay at where he's at. Like if he walks at 235, fight at 235. No need to build up no muscle. Just, you know, fight how, because however you are with, you know, however you are, just like you'll feel comfortable in that spot. You just, if you feel good, you fight good. You know what I'm saying?
So what this podcast is about you. We done took it where you lift.
It's all good. But,
That's all good. I like talking about this stuff. This is my thing, man.
Yeah, man. Let's get back on track. Like, what do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, I'm in the UFC in 2 years, brother. There's no doubt in my mind. If I do everything I'm supposed to, I have no doubt in my mind that by 2027, I will be in the UFC and I will be putting Lake Charles on the map. Most of the guys that you see that come from Louisiana, they're mostly a Lafayette fighter. Like Daniel Cormier does before, they come from Lafayette. Me, I don't know if I'll be the first, but if I am, I will be the first fighter representing Lake Charles in the UFC. I will never forget that. It's been my home.
I got to ask you this, though, because the thing is, whenever I watch the UFC, I see there's like two aspects to it. There's what you can do in the cage, and there's also what you can do behind the mic.
Yep.
Hence McGregor. Because you did talk shit. Like, whenever you got that vibe, the what's his name? Not Holloway, O'Malley.
Yeah.
Those type of guys, they do great behind the mic. And
Yes.
then you can see how that propelled their career to a whole new level. How's your game behind the mic?
I talk good. I mean,
But I mean, they not just talk good. Do you talk shit?
No, I don't know. I don't plan on doing none of that, man. I think so. I haven't talked too much to you guys about this, but like I'm a big believer in God and everything, and Jesus Christ, and I believe that I have a calling for my life to this sport. And you know, the sport seems it's very prideful. It's very dark. Like there's the people that come to MMA events. They're people that just want to see violence. They want to get in fights. They come to lust after women and just party and just hang out with others that love the same things, right? And I believe what God's called me to do is like not only like walk in a way where I can, you know, represent something better than that, but like just shine a light and plant like I like after all my fights, I don't know if you guys have seen, but after all my fights, I try to preach the word of God. That's just my thing. I believe He's called me to do that. To, you know, in the midst of all that darkness stuff and the darkness and everything, He's called me to shine a light with His intentions, you know, for the world.
I can see that because Dustin is kind of guy that's like peaceful, don't really talk that much shit, but yet he had a great career.
Exactly, yeah.
Because I remember O'Malley, like before O'Malley was O'Malley, the one we know, his very first fight. Like I remember he fought for like before the tattoo, the colored hair. And I remember like that dude, he looked like he weighed about 100 pounds back then. And I remember after he knocked that dude out, he got on top of the cage and said, "Welcome to the Sugar Show."
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that dude is on one.
He's gonna be a next McGregor.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, that dude is on one. But
no one can come close to what McGregor did. But I mean, no one will do what McGregor did, but they can come close. And Sean has definitely done that.
Like
I don't see myself talking much, you know, shit or whatever. But like, I think I will make a name for myself, not with my mouth, but with my skill. That's my goal. That's my goal, is to get where I'm at, not by anything else, not by, you know, followers, not by, you know, the words that I say, but really earning my spot by showcasing in every fight that I am the best.
So like when you're watching the UFC, you're watching the fight, do you like try to learn new skills and stuff like that and go practice it?
Oh, absolutely, dude. Like I said, Pereira, I've picked up so much new stuff from him, so many new setups. I look at what Sean does. Sean, his striking so pretty, and that I learned so much from that 25-minute fight with Cheeto, because he was just beating the brakes off Cheeto all 25. There's lots to look at, lots to learn. Oh yeah, absolutely. There's especially, dude, the level's only getting higher and higher. The people that are coming to the UFC right now and through the Contender Series, they're young and they only got like 8 pro fights, but dude, they're so good, and most of them, they know stuff I don't. So I just in order to level up with the game and, you know, meet the pace at which they're growing, I gotta learn from the people that I'm gonna be fighting one day. Like that's very, I would say that I'd like to really target. Yeah, I target, you know, learning from that area.
But let me ask you this: before a fight, I'm sure, like, you know, you practice on certain things. It depends on who you're fighting. You trying to, you know, stop yourself from doing this because, you know, they got a good left hook or a good calf kick, wherever it may go. But within the midst of the fight, do you remember all that, or is it just a fight? The moment the bell rings, I mean, it's just another freaking fight. Or you just trying to keep in mind, okay, we practice not to do this, we practice not to do that. Do you play all these voices in your head in the middle of the fight, or you just, naturally fighting them?
So sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you really can remember, and sometimes you can follow the game plan, and sometimes you won't. And I remember all the things that I game planned for the fight that I lost. I was not there mentally. I didn't do what I was supposed to do, like discipline wise, like as far as mental discipline, like mental reps or whatever. And I just kind of fought them, and I did everything wrong. But these past couple fights, anytime I've had a goal, I've been able to I've been able to grasp those thoughts in the middle of the fight and really just do what I want to do. But I say the mental rep thing because there comes a point where, it's a fist fight. Sometimes you might lose your train of thought. So that's why you want to create muscle memory. Any goals that you have for a fight coming up, you have to implement that into your training just so it becomes a part of what you do. Because you don't always want to bank on your mind because your mind not always be there. So if you implement that stuff in the training room, it will just happen. And that's the best way to do that. Because even though you might not be there mentally sound, your body will react how it's supposed to.
So how often you train?
Train 6 days a week. At least two sessions a day. Sometimes 3, maybe I don't ever hit 4, but if it's just a hard day and I for some reason I can't make the next day, I'll do 4.
All right, let me run the scenario to you. So let's say you're about to fight this guy, right? Mm-hmm. The day happens, so it's early in the morning. Run me through that day, 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. you're about to start.
Okay, so I wake up pretty early, and we have fight team breakfast, or the team comes together and we just hang out, chill, talk about the night, whatever. Just setting the tone for the whole team, just getting together because we work together. We shared blood, sweat, and tears together all camp. Just try to stick together. And after breakfast, go home, take a nap if I can. I wake up, do my prayer and my worship, and just talk to my wife and just hang out with her, give her the time that she deserves before I go out and do my thing. And because like you said, put your life on the line. I make sure I spend quality time with my wife because you never know, that one shot could change your life. So I do that, and after that before that. So after breakfast, take a nap, wake up, do my prayers and stuff, go to shakeout. What we do at shakeout is usually the first workout you do after a weight cut. You feel super, you got a lot of food in you and water from rehydrating, so you just feel real sluggish and heavy. Even your lungs are all out of whack because of all the water you sweat off. Your organs kind of suffered for a little bit during the weight cut, so you got to boost yourself a little bit. So you just, we call it a shakeout because you're just shaking the nerves out, shaking all the bad stuff out, whatever. And we train for about 30, 45 minutes, just doing fight simulations and stuff like that. Just getting my mind set in, for the things that are going to come. Try to emulate the stuff that I will look at when fight time comes. Preparing my mind for, the things that might happen. Shit might go wrong. I'm not even talking about just the fight, but, so any little thing coming up to fight can stress you out. I don't know where my mouthpiece at. I lost my mouthpiece. Just stuff like that. Just mentally preparing myself for all that, visualizing everything. And we also do a little breathing drill. It's called the Wim Hof drill. Dude, it gets my lungs going. I feel like my lungs expand so much and I can just fight for days. I do that. Go home, spend time with my wife, pull up to the fight venue, and just when you walk in that building, man, there's something that happens inside of you. I don't know what it is, but it's just a little boom, and just it's just you lock in. It's I don't know how else to describe it.
Is it more anxiety, or is it more you're scared, or is it more just everything is empty? You're just on your whole world, you.
I think it's a mixture of everything. I think it's anxiety, happiness because I've been training for this. This is what I'm doing. I love this. And, just trying to feel your body also reminds itself because after you fight for a long time, your body just kind of knows what's going on. There's even this thing it's a common thing for fighters. A lot of the times, right before walking out, fighters have to use the bathroom and it sucks. You have to, but your body knows it's about to go into something very serious, so it tries to get all the excess stuff out of your body before you go into that. It's crazy. That's crazy. Your body knows it's about to go into fight or flight, so it tries to help you as best it can. So I believe I've done it so much now after 7 fights and just competing and smoking and stuff for so long. My body knows all all right, it's time. And it just like, something happens. I don't know if it's spiritual. I don't know if it's, but like something happens and I'm like, my mind, I'm ready to go.
But I got to ask you this. Like you said, you back there, you done went through all this routine, you walk into the building, you feel all that pressure, anxiety, all that stuff. But let's just say while you're back there, you got a teammate that's fighting, and then word got back to you that they just lost, and you know they done put in the work, and you believed in them, you felt like they had it. Does that affect you, your psyche also?
Yeah, so I've gotten better with that, actually. That did affect me one time. So my third fight, I won by knockout in the second round, but it was at the Burton Coliseum. It was my second hometown fight. I never fought in the Burton Coliseum before, and the Burton Coliseum, the energy in that building is just crazy. It's huge. So many people come to shows at the Burton, and just I think there was 5,000 people there that night. That was the biggest show we've ever had in Lake Charles. But there was one time where my buddy, his name's Jason Slade, and he lost to a very good wrestler named James Ford. He just got Jason, he puts in the work. Like he does everything he can, and he used to he was training to go. He played football in college, and he was training to go to the NFL, and he really set his mind on that, and he almost got there. But life happened, had a baby, and all this stuff. Got a good job in the medical field, so I don't think he went down that route. But he lost, and the thing is, at the time, I wasn't even that close to Jason, but something happened. Oh my God, I'm next. You know what I mean? And I told Austin that, and he was like, man, you got to learn to block that stuff out. It's cool. You got your own fight to handle. It's, it's nowhere close to what he's dealing with. And also that fight I took was on a week notice. That was a short notice. I was already in camp, but my opponent dropped out a week out. And I had a fill-in. The dude took the fight. I was like, man, this guy taking a fight with me on a week notice. Should I feel disrespected or worried?
Maybe I gotta believe in him.
Yeah, a guy taking a fight with me on a week notice. What does he think he can do to me? So it's man, does he know something I'm down? Is he about to come in here and just because I look at his film and I don't got nothing to worry about as far, but he took a fight with me on a week notice. This guy's coming to kill me probably.
The mental game, man. Is
it is the mental game.
There's so many aspects to it. It's you can't count them all.
You cannot go ask him, hey man, why you took that?
Yeah, man, why you took that fight?
Yeah, I should.
What do you know? I don't know.
Me and him are cool. I'm cool with all my opponents. We always try to exchange thoughts of what was going on in this and this and that or whatever. But that before I walked out, I was freaking out, dude. I started started crying. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. My buddy Jason lost, and I was and he got dominated too. He was getting suplexed all fight.
And, God.
And no disrespect to Jason, but that was I remember I seen him get dominated, and I was and the guy that this puts the icing on the cake. The guy that beat him came from the guy that I fought, Jim. So that
you're okay, them guys are something different over there.
I was it's this guy, what, I was just worried, but I had nothing to worry about. Once I walked out, all the nerves, actually, when I was walking out, I was still freaking out, and I was man, this has never happened. And when I was in the cage, I was still freaking out, but then they announced my name, and I was dude, why am I worried right now? I love this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I shook back, and I was just there. I was just man, I'm here to fight. Let's do it. And it was a good fight. We were scrapping the whole time. We were smiling at each other the whole time while trading shots, and then ended up finishing them in the second round with a head kick.
But now I got a question first. So let's say when you're fighting, right? Because even though let's say sports and I'm playing soccer, right? Let's say if I'm playing against somebody, I can know if they know how to play or not, if they're good or not. Mm-hmm. So when you fighting the guy, the first two moves he make, can you tell if he's oh shit, he's good?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It definitely there's all sorts of levels of skill, but as far as striking, I can immediately tell by the way they move, by the way they throw one punch. Usually, if by just a one or two movements, I can know I know if I got him or not. And that's something I take a lot of confidence in because I'm a student of the game. I analyze all things. I don't practice only the physical, but the mind as well. I feel my IQ for striking is very high. So in that fight when his name was Alonzo Escobedo, once I saw him moving around, I was I'm about to piece this dude. This dude got nothing on me. He's not on my level. But as far as the grappling goes, I still got to learn to feel that out a little bit.
But if there's, let's say, you say something like that to yourself, right? And then the guy knock you out. How would you gonna take that?
How am I gonna take that? Like, I'll probably just make an excuse. I just got caught.
Hey,
you
funny
know?
story. I went to about probably about a month ago because my daughter's in soccer. And while my daughter was playing, I turned around and I kind of see somebody from afar that kind of looked like Josh. And I'm like, is that Josh? And at that time, I believe I was with my girlfriend. I'm like, okay, I think that's Josh. And he was like, who the heck is Josh? I'm like, probably the most dangerous dude living in McCharles. And thing is, he was walking away. He had his daughter with him. And I kind of wanted to go and tap on the shoulder. I'm like, man, if I do that, man, turn around and knock me out, man, I'm good.
I think he's too, unless he's too such a nice guy. I don't think you tap him in the shoulder. He's just gonna look. Man, but he's still just a weapon, man. He's not even.
So Quayhagen, he used to not be that guy. Like, but that's what's so great about his story is like he used to like everybody knows him as the nicest guy. Like in Lake Charles, like awesome. Like he'll talk to anybody. Yeah. He's dangerous, but he's so humble. But dude, he used to be like but he had to learn. When he found God and everything, God instilled all that, that humility in him and all that, the kindness and whatever. But he used to be like, if you bumped into him, he was fighting you. Like, and you would never imagine that, right? Like, he used to be that guy.
Yeah. Like, but the thing is, interestingly enough, like after we interviewed Josh, and like me being a huge UFC fan, like I think he sent me like a compilation of Josh fighting. Yeah. And I'm like, God damn, that dude he's that good or whatever. Yeah. But the thing is, you sport with Josh, right? Yeah. And you were young.
I try not to, but I do.
You were a young upcoming fighter, and then whenever you got like a seasoned veteran, like when I go to PE, the few times I've been there, and then let's just say I threw a jab or a kick or a punch, and then he's telling me no, this is how you do it. The way he moves is so differently compared to how I would ever freaking move. Yeah. And the thing is, whenever you see somebody like that in front of you, being your coach, doing all that kind of stuff, like. Does it bring the mindset of, God, there's level to this shit? Like, even though I feel like I'm good, I'm confident, I think I'm this guy, but then again, there's that guy.
Like, has that ever talking about sparring with my coach? Like
sparring with him, seeing how he move, how he push the game, because clearly he's a seasoned veteran. Like, he's been doing this. And then you got you's upcoming. Yes, you've done the homework. You're a student of the game. But I'm sure whenever you see Josh, maybe it's just because when I see Josh moving, I'm like, okay, even if I train for a lifetime, I can never be like that.
Man, I don't think Josh should be. I don't think like when I see him, I don't think he even think when he moves.
No, you don't.
I think his body already knows.
He's been training since he was 4 years old, man.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, though. Like whenever you look at a guy like that across from you, like in the gym, like his discipline, his skills, and so on and so forth, does that make you feel like, okay, even let's just say you're even watching UFC and you watch those guys that's doing it on the highest level because they've been doing it longer. Yeah. Have you ever noticed the difference within your game and their game to where you feel like, okay, I got a lot more to learn or a lot more to do or whatever?
Absolutely, man. So when I first, like I said, when I started training when I was 15, I wanted to fight when I was 17, but like my teammates, they made me wait and mature and before because you gotta have a good head on your shoulders before you do something, as crazy as, getting in a fist fight with somebody. But I would say there definitely is a difference between someone that's, say 3 years of it, let's say 5 years of experience to someone that's doing it for 25 years. There's certain movements and certain way they move. I can't really explain it, but there's certain ways they move and certain ways that like how they see things, like their vision. Because, you hear the saying like, been there, done that. Like he's been there, done that so many times that like he knows each style and each way that a certain person moves. Like he knows if a person moves this way, this is about to come. And that definitely comes like with time, is having looked and sparred with every single look there is. But I also believe though in a fight, if I were to ever go against like a seasoned veteran, like someone like say like I have like 4 fights and someone has like 30 fights, it definitely everybody's gonna have that respect in a fight. Like, okay, if this guy hits me, I can go out. So I'm not just gonna, even though I'm way more experienced than him, I'm not just gonna walk him down and risk getting knocked out. You got to be smart in a fight because you can lose to anybody. It could be anybody's night. But there's definitely like, because I remember when I first wanted to fight, that's what I was getting to. There was certain things that I just wasn't picking up visually. Austin was hitting mitts with me, and he was trying to get me to react in a certain way. He was trying to see if I was ready. And he was like, man, you're still not picking this stuff up yet. You're not seeing this correctly. You're not capitalizing on this stuff. We got to wait some more. We got to give it some more time. There's certain things that you pick up when you're, fighting somebody or sparring that relates to like experience. And I can't explain it, but it's just certain movements and certain things they pick up better than others. That's what comes with being seasoned and more experience.
So your next fight, I want you to tell us like a little bit about your next fight, the date, weight class, when it's coming, what belt you're fighting for, the whole 9 years, just to let everybody that's watching this know what you got coming up next.
All right, so I'll be fighting for American Combat Alliance here in Lake Charles, Louisiana at the Burton Coliseum. It'll be for the 135 title. I'm fighting a guy named Jay Chow. He has 4 wins, 2 losses. He has subbed 3 of his 4. He has a submission for 3 of his 4 wins, and it's gonna be a really good fight. This guy is he has a real, he's pretty well rounded from what I've seen. There's not much fight footage on him, but I see his social medias and whatever. He's disciplined, and he's 31 years old, so he's definitely been doing it for a while. And he's the BJJ coach for Iron Forge in Austin, Texas. But enough about him. That's who I'm fighting, and it's for the title. It'll be on the main card for AKA, and that'll be on November 23rd. I'll be fighting along with my teammates Headshot, Hunter Smith, Austin Swallow, Grant Navarre, all those guys. We're gonna put on a show for sure. It's gonna be a night to remember. It's also another cool thing about this fight. It's be my last amateur fight before I go pro. So,
nice.
I know I've been doing this since I was 18 years old. I've been doing starting training at 15 years old, starting fighting at 18 years old. I've acquired all the tests I possibly can. This will be my last one, and I guarantee you I will pass. And I will start making my way to my pro career starting next year. And I will make my way to the UFC, and I will be there by 2027. That's a promise.
There you go. Yeah. You heard it first here, folks.
So if you had to go back and talk to that 15-year-old self, and that was just the guy in the computer, what would you tell him?
I would tell him, man, you're wasting time. I've seen time as something so valuable, as over the years, and even even sometimes I get tempted to play the game still, but I just and I do play it sometimes, to be honest, but I remember how addicted I was and how caught up I was in that stuff, and it's just it's a waste. It's a waste of my my career. It's a waste of time with my family that I could be having or helping somebody or whatever. I would just tell them hey, time's valuable. Use it wisely. That's the number one discipline I feel like anybody should have, because especially with scrolling nowadays, everybody likes to scroll on their phone, do the reels, and the way you lose track. But I would say man, you are so capable and so talented. You can do anything you put your mind to. You just got to go all in. And hearing that from myself, I believe, that would have been very impactful, because I didn't believe in myself, but now I do, because I have other sources outside of myself that make the foundation of my mentality very strong.
All right, for favorite cheat food to go to after a fight.
Cheat food, dude. I don't even know. I'm a big burger guy. Just a go-to burger place. Let's see, somewhere in Lafayette, bro. I don't really like Lake Charles food too much. I'm gonna be honest with you. Really? I love Lake Charles, but man, there's not many great food spots here.
In my opinion, it's the same food.
Yeah.
It's the same food. I mean, they might have nicer restaurants, but
I don't know. I'm not gonna be, but I've grown up here, and it's just so much more Cajun than down in Lafayette, New Iberia.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think it's just better. But as far as a favorite cheat food, definitely a burger or a po' boy or something. I love a good po' boy. Shout out to Daryl's, my sponsor.
Oh, for real? Oh, that's my spot too.
Yeah, you like Daryl's?
Who don't like Daryl's?
Daryl's got the best po' boy in Louisiana.
For sure. I had him. The thing is, with my dieting, I stay active, run, work out, and all 9 years, so I don't eat it often. But recently, when was it? About last week, I said screw it, and I got me the Dell special, a whole foot long, and I sat down and ate that thing in 10 minutes. Yeah, that's how good that thing was.
I finished my sandwich in 10 minutes too. So
I love those, because I remember the first time I tried those. You couldn't talk to me, but I felt like I found heaven, bro. It was
I said the same thing.
But lately, I don't know. Every time, because back then when I go, every time you go, it's just they was on top of it. But now when you go, it's sometimes you get it right, sometimes you doesn't. So
really?
A few times I got it, it was not to the standard that I used to.
Every time I go there, I don't go often, like I said, but when I go, it's always to the standard.
Oh yeah, it's awesome, dude. I have a good experience every time. But it's a funny story. So when I was 18, I really loved Daryl's, and I was like, man, I'm gonna make them a sponsor one day. And I finally got them to sponsor me this past fight, and that was awesome, dude. I was like, dude, let's go. Checking the boxes, you know what I'm saying?
There you go. But anything else? Any more questions you got?
I think that's.
But I guess we're gonna conclude it and let you get out of here on this one. And then, ladies and gentlemen, Once again, the Haitian King Podcast, we strike gold. We got one of the greatest upcoming fighters out here. Check him out. He got a fight coming up November 23rd at the Burton Coliseum. 7 o'clock?
Probably so, yeah.
Like probably at 7 o'clock. Make sure y'all go there to check him out. And that dude is it, man. He got the confidence. He got the skills.
Let's
so
go.
hopefully in a few years, we'll get to see him in the UFC. Like he said, his plan is to put Lake Charles on the map.
Let's go.
Let's
Lake
go.
Charles, the ride or die, baby.
Yeah, there you go.
And I want to shout out Josh Corhagen,
Yep.
Austin Swallow,
Hunter
Hunter
Smith.
Smith, headshot, Grant Novo, and them
Yep.
guys. So it's going to be a good. I want
That's
to be
my
there to
dudes,
support
man.
y'all.
For sure. I'll for sure I'll make sure I make it there. Even if I got to work, whatever I got going on, I'll make sure I'll find a way to make it there because I enjoy going and see you
Y'all
guys
do not
fight.
want to miss this card, bro. It's going to be a masterclass. We haven't been doing too well these past hometown shows, but we're locking it down, man. We're going to go undefeated. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Y'all heard it first here, y'all. Like, share, and subscribe, and then wait till another one.
Thank you, man.
Dude, thank y'all, man. That was awesome.